You meowing at me? What is it? Hey, what's up guys? I'm just about to make some oatmeal and wanted to show you the cutest little pot I've ever seen. It's so tiny. Mark Alfred always makes me pour over coffee in the morning. Woohoo! Hi everyone, Lauren here with Lauren Lesley Studio, and today I'm going to do a studio vlog. So before we dive into the vlog, I just kind of wanted to say that I hope you are all doing okay. I didn't really want to gloss over the fact that coronavirus and COVID-19 have just been catastrophically horrible, and so if you're tired of hearing about coronavirus, then you can skip to this part of the video. But I do want to take a second to kind of talk about the fact that almost 49,000 people have died in the US. Today is April 23rd. We've been in quarantine since March 9th, so however many days that is. It's just crazy. Like I'm okay, like me and my husband are okay, like we're both introverts, I work at home anyway, so I'm really lucky that this has not totally disrupted our life as much as it has for other people, but it's still crazy. I mean, I feel so bad for everyone who has gotten sick, of course, who's lost a loved one, who has lost their job, who maybe has lost their small business, or who, you know, is just dealing with the stress of not knowing what's going to happen and if their business is going to survive. Thankfully, our government has kind of pulled together to help, but it's still just crazy. I mean, when this thing first started, I was so scared. I remember hearing about the first case that was reported in Atlanta and just feeling like I can't leave, like I can't go anywhere, like what do I do? And it's just continued to escalate, and I almost feel numb to it now, and I hate to say that. Like, I was glued to the TV and the news when this first started, and I just couldn't stop watching. It was just like, holy mother of whatever. But yeah, I was just glued to the news, and like my husband doesn't like to watch a lot of news because he feels like it's just, you know, negative and whatever, but this was a really big deal. Like, I don't usually watch the news every night either, but like I couldn't stop watching. And when I heard that 10,000 people had died in Italy, I just burst into tears. I studied abroad in Italy, in Cortona, Italy, that's in Tuscany, in 2005, and I just love Italy. I love Italians. The Italian people are amazing, wonderful people, and it kind of feels like my second home. And I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe that. And then we hit 10,000 in the US, and then it's just continued, and the death toll has just continued to grow. And let's compare this to 9/11 for a second. This is literally 16.3 times 9/11. This is like 9/11 happening 16.3 times where we are today. And it's not over yet. And our governor in Georgia has just reopened everything, and it's just like, how can you be such a moron? Like, this is only gonna get worse before it gets better, and you have to cooperate. I know that businesses are struggling, and I know that it's hard and it's painful, but like, I mean, it's only gonna get worse if you don't social distance and you don't self-isolate and all of those things. I'm worried about winter. I mean, winter time, we're not only gonna have probably a resurgence of coronavirus, but we're also gonna be dealing with the regular flu, and we're not gonna have a vaccine before then. And so, I mean, miraculously, I hope it happens, but the reality is that we probably won't. And so it's just insane. It's just insane. It's devastating. I'm gonna cry. But I'm so lucky that, you know, all of our friends and family have been safe. For those of you who kind of followed along back when I was living in Birmingham, you know that I used to work out of my dining room, so I had kind of a weird setup, but now I have my own office and it's amazing. And this is a little painting that I did yesterday, so it's fun. See if I can focus in on that. Here we go. So one of my goals is to try to just make something every day. I know that sounds crazy, but when I was in my design job, I kind of got into the habit of not necessarily creating every day. There were chunks of time where we were designing and creating, but when you work as a designer, you still have to answer your emails and you have to go to meetings and you have to do all kinds of things. So now that I'm working for myself, I kind of have a similar schedule still. I still wake up in the morning and answer all my emails. Maybe that's not as important anymore. Maybe this needs to be more of the priority. And I bought these 2 little sketchbooks, and you can find a link to them on my resources page if you're interested in buying the same one. They are watercolor paper. And so I actually like to paint in my sketchbooks because in college I was a painting major. So it's kind of just going back to my roots, and yeah, so I haven't done a very good job filling it, and I'll do a sketchbook tour once it's finished, so that'll be fun. But I've only so far filled this much of this sketchbook. I mean, this is a small sketchbook. It's only this big. I think it's 8 by 8 inches, something like that, which is good because then I can just scan the whole thing in my scanner. It's pretty seamless. I don't have to like scan parts of a page and then like try to piece it all together in Photoshop. So that's part of the reason why I'm liking working small. Maybe one day I could buy a bigger scanner, but as of right now, I don't have one. So yeah, so one of my goals is to fill this sketchbook as well as this sketchbook. So I wanted to kind of try to paint more horizontally as well. So this is also watercolor paper, and if you're working with, it's great for watercolors or gouache. So I'm using more gouache paints. And even if you're using acrylics or acrylic gouache, what you can do is actually gesso your paper, prime your paper with gesso, and then it'll be a lot smoother, but it's still like a nice thick paper that's not going to warp and buckle when you're painting. All right, so I guess it's time for me to paint today. Let's dive in. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. That's going to wrap up the vlog for today. Leave me a comment if you have any questions at all, or if you just want to say hi. Your comments literally make my day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.